Welcome to Broadcast to Badass by Best Life Ever with your hosts, Kimi and Pua. If you're ready to stop struggling, stop hustling, and start living your best life ever, you are in the right place.
Guess what?
What?
I'm rocking some pretty slick headphones right now. Hey, and guess what? Oh, okay. So we're using Regent headphones, and we're going to give you a discount code later in the middle of this episode if you guys want to grab some ears. But we were featured in a local magazine, Honolulu Magazine, and you can see Kimi rocking these white headphones in the article.
Yes. And you know what's so funny about that? These headphones are really great noise canceling. So as we were doing this shoot, I was like, what?
Oh my God, it was so funny. You're like, Kimi, move over. And you would just be like standing there smiling.
Oh, that was a really fun shoot. And yeah, these things look so cool. They're from Studio, so definitely check them out. We'll have all the links in the show notes. And as Pua said, we're going to share a secret code with you guys. I love secret codes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right. So what are we talking about today?
We have no idea.
No plan is the best plan.
No, we do. We have an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say we're Kyle Cease-ing it. If you guys aren't familiar with Kyle Cease, he is a transformational comedic speaker and amazing dude. And he often talks about how he has no scripted plan for his events. Because, you know, if like you can't script what's coming from the soul. And so that's how we feel today. Can't script what's coming from our soul.
And my soul is screaming about our course, B2B. I just can't stop thinking about it.
Me too.
Talking about it and going through it and looking at our beautiful community. I just can't stop.
It is. It's so fun. You guys know about this already because we can't stop talking about it in all the places and everywhere. And that's truly because we are so lit up by what we've created and by the people that have been magnetized to the course, to the program already, and seeing their amazing transformations and their excitement. Like it means the world to us. And so, yeah, I'm with you. I can't stop thinking about it. And you know what they say, like, that's the thing, right? The thing that you can't stop thinking or dreaming about. That's the thing to put your energy towards.
That's the thing. For sure. And I think it's really, we've had a very interesting 2018 so far, and it's been very confirming. So yesterday we jumped on the phone, or I guess it's on a Zoom, but you know, us old people who used to jump on the phone, still say it. We were on a Zoom with someone who was on our podcast, Jeremy Slate, and he has a business called Command Your Brand. And he is a super rad dude. And we're just truly curious about the service that he offers. And we wanted to know if that was something that we were interested in doing. And we just want to bust the myth right now that we have all the answers, because we don't have all the answers. What we do have are really freaking killer solutions to a specific set of problems. And we coach people to bring their businesses online, create the time and energy to create all of the systems that bring in residual income that allow you to scale your business without scaling your own time and energy, right? These are things that we have done. We walk our talk, we eat our own dog food, and we live this stuff every day, and we teach it every day. What we don't teach is all the other stuff. And that's what we need to continue to seek out support with, right?
Yeah.
So it's funny. Like, I feel like sometimes people are like, oh, why do you need a coaching program if you're a coach? And we'll be like, we're a coach here, but this person is an expert in this place. So we jumped on the call with Jeremy, and what was really eye-opening to me was we just yes, he is an absolute phenomenal human, and he is an expert in his field, and he produces fantastic results. So yes, it's worth buying into his program. But the layer that we often forget about is the person behind the business. And we fell in love with him as a person. We really vibed with him. He speaks our language. And that really is what makes us want to work with someone, and what we hope will make people who also vibe with our vibe want to work with us.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know what got me with Jeremy was when he lifted his dog into the screen and showed us his dog on Zoom. I'm like,
We're like,
dude,
whatever you sell, we'll buy it.
you are our people. We're in no matter what. And that's the way it is these days. We have so many choices and there are so many amazing products and services out there. And as I said, so many choices that we could make. And it really comes down to who you're connecting with. And yeah, your vibe attract your tribe. That's why we talk about that so much and all the things that we do, because it becomes a filter and it becomes a path to your best life ever, right? The more authentic that you are, the more you are out there in the world, then you attract people that are vibing at that same vibration, that are your people also. And it's a joy then to work with each other, to collaborate, to learn from each other. I mean, that's where your best life ever is created.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to let people see who you are.
Oh my God.
And in this,
so true.
Especially right now, right? Like live video, Instagram stories. This is something that honestly, guys, Kimi and I, it's not natural for us to do a Facebook Live, to be on our Instagram all day long, showcasing our lives. But it's important because it allows people to fall in love with you as a person, and knowing that there's all the choices out there. And although we don't really like to talk about competition, like truly in the business world, you have competitors. You don't need to be mean to them. There's enough to go around for everybody. But there are people who are doing the same thing that you are, and that's okay, because people will fall in love with you, and people who don't love your style will go to the other people who they resonate with. Again, don't ever freak out about competition. There's more than enough to go around for all of us. But it really is true that people are like, well, I don't want to do that, and I'm not supposed to do things that I don't love. We're telling you right now, like, help yourself to gently and easily and gradually get comfortable with sharing a little bit of your personality with your brand, because it makes a huge difference.
For sure. And to just get in the practice of having real conversations with people instead of, it can be real easy in this day and age to hide behind a keyboard and to just kind of post things and hope that they're landing, post photos or images or write things. And sometimes we got to get out there, whether it be in the form of video or in real life conversations, hopping on the phone, hopping on Zoom with somebody so that people can feel your energy a little bit more. And certainly there are times that people can feel your energy through your writing or through an image. But wow, this world is about connections and relationships, and you just never know where a conversation can lead you. I mean, we were tripping out yesterday, right? When we were talking to Jeremy, where here he was, we had him on the big screen, and it was as if he was right there in the room with us. And it really kind of created this much deeper connection than we would have had just reading something on his website. And it gave us an opportunity to get to know him, what his vibe was. And after we talked to him, we're just like, wow, this guy is like, I mean, we had him on our podcast already, which was one level of connection, but I don't know, just to like see him and connect. It was so cool. Technology is amazing that we are able to do that in this day and age. I was just listening to another interview, a podcast interview that I heard with Chris Burns, and he does these crazy like 12-hour personal development marathon interviews where he interviews 12 people all in a row, 1 hour interviews. I think he takes a break every 4 hours because Facebook only lets you do 4 hours of live video, which we've never figured out because we've never done more than, can you imagine?
That's so intense.
Yeah.
I just like see him taking like gels, like the marathon gels.
Oh yeah, I know.
He's out, bring it on. Who's next? Who's next?
Right. Yeah. So I
throwing
heard
cups all over his living room.
I heard his interview on the Mark Mawhinney, Natural Born Coaches podcast. And we've had Mark on the show before. He jumps on a lot of times when we're doing a live, he'll pop into our tribe and say a few things. And I just think it's such a cool world that we live in. And as Chris was saying in this interview with Mark, he was saying, like, how amazing. This is just about connections, and you can't have too many connections, and you never know where a conversation is going to lead to. So, there are so many opportunities, right, where you hear people, whether it be on a podcast like this or out in the world, like, hey, let's just hop on a call and get to know each other. You never know. And yet we don't take that action sometimes, that really simple action that just can God, create a whole new world for you and a whole new, kind of open you up to new ideas, new possibilities. And what a beautiful, beautiful way that we get to live in this world in this day and age. The
It's
world is
so
small.
awesome.
The world is small and badass.
True. It really is. Like we in one of our modules we recorded about customer service, and we talked a little bit about like relationships and reciprocity, and how regardless of the relationship, whether it's somebody who loved your service, signed up, paid in full, did the whole thing, talking about you, or somebody who opted out or maybe even wrote something rude, or like there is no relationship that should go untouched and unresponded to from a place of love. Even the worst review on the planet deserves to be responded to from a place of love and forgiveness, because this world is so damn small. People talk, and like it's that review, yes, you will see it and it will hurt you a little bit, and then you'll get over it, and then you'll respond, and then people will see your response. And it's so important to make those connections and really just nurture everybody. And yes, this is so much like more beautifully done in person, on the phone, in a Zoom call. And I was on I don't remember, I think this might have been in Mark Mawhinney's Facebook group. Someone asked, what are the most overused like buzzwords in the personal and professional development world, something like that. And people were throwing out words like empowered and confident and vibe and tribe and authentic. And I was sitting there and I was like, there's a reason why these are overused. It's because they're good ideas. And we could probably benefit if we did them. And people get irritated, right? They're like, oh, if I hear the word empowered one more time, I'm going to shoot myself. But truly, like, when you are empowered, when you're confident, when you're exuding your own authentic vibe, your tribe will come to you. Like it just is. That's why it's overused. It's because it works. It's because it's truth. And what we've learned over the years, I mean, guys, Kimi and I are finally feeling like ourselves with Broadcast to Badass, with the new evolution of our business. And I can't tell you how many times in the last 3 years when we thought we wanted to do work with corporate or executives, and we'd put on, business clothes and high heels and walk into an office and do a presentation, which we loved. We loved our time and energy and our productivity training for organizations, but it just really wasn't truly who we really wanted to work with, which is entrepreneurs. And as we got clearer and clearer about what we wanted to do and who we wanted to serve and what lit us up, the conversations that we had with potential clients got easier and the results were better. So we wouldn't feel like, we no longer feel like we're selling ourselves and we're selling our service and we're trying to convince people that they need us. Now we just jump on the phone and we have a conversation, and we're so confident in our service. We're so confident in who we are. And the more us we are, the more confident we are that our community will be happy with the service. Because if you pretend to be someone you're not and you attract the wrong person, that person is going to be an absolute nightmare in your program. We guarantee it.
For sure. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be a weird little segue, but if you've seen the show, you'll understand. Have you ever watched Better Call Saul? So, no. Okay, so Better Call Saul is this, it's a show about, it's a spin-off, a prequel to Breaking Bad. Okay. So I have never watched Breaking Bad. It's too like dark and everything, but Better Call Saul is a really, it's lighter, and it's just a really well-written show about a kind of sleazy, morally flexible lawyer. And it's all about his journey, and like good guy, good heart. And it's all about him trying to kind of find the balance between following like the straight edge legal path and like the quote unquote right professional way to do things in the corporate world, and then doing things in his own way, the morally flexible way that is, kind of frowned upon and is so it definitely like a little sleazier, whatever. So, and I'm not saying here that, you should take the morally flexible road, whatever. That's not what this is about. But it's an interesting thing, the way when he is himself, and granted, that is in this case, maybe not the most morally, great option, but he comes alive and he's so happy and he's so free, even with less money, less, what's the word I'm looking for? Like he's in a little dingy, like small little office in the back of a nail salon. Like, on the outside, it looks like a hot mess, but on the inside, he's just like alive and he's so happy. And yet then he tries to like go and he'll get like an amazing corporate job for a little while, and he'll get like a car and he'll get all these perks, and the world looks at him like, wow, you've really made it. Yet inside, he's just like so unhappy because he's not himself. And it's just about his struggle trying to go back and forth between these two worlds, the world that one world that the rest of the world would see as like quote unquote success. And then the other side, which is much more fun for him and much more exciting, and where he feels alive, and yet on the outside looks like a total disaster. So it's an extreme example for sure, but I just always think about that because he'll often say things like, every time I try to do the right thing by like trying to fit myself as a square peg in a hole, life just blows up. So it'll look on the outside like it's going really great for him, but on the inside, because he's so miserable, then just like shitstorm after shitstorm happens to like self-sabotage, And so again, I'm not saying that you should go be a sleazy lawyer or anything, but there's so much, beautiful truth in terms of like, what does your soul feel like, and how do you feel? What makes you come alive, and how can you figure out how to live that way in the world, regardless of what the rest of society might say is like the right way to do things? So I don't know. That's kind of a crazy example, but if you've seen the show,
it's a perfect example.
It's like,
because if your life is a shitstorm, then something needs to change.
Totally.
And it's the universe screaming at you. And if you want to be a sleazy lawyer, don't say that we told you to do it, but go do it.
Yeah. And my mom just gave me like a bunch of my grades. She's kept all of my grades since I was in elementary school.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I got to tell you that my grades are in the trash because I used to take them out of the mail and throw them away before my parents got them.
I asked her, I was like, did I see these? Like these, I blocked it out of my mind completely. And in my elementary school, which was very much like focused on the individual as a learner, and like, how can you help this person, help the student, whatever kind of student they were, to thrive in their environment, and help them to blossom based on them as an individual. Whereas my high school at the time was definitely much more like rote memorization and like wanting everybody to kind of fit into one mold. And I can't even tell you, I was laughing, and yet I also had like PTSD reading my grades, because they said things like, I was like a C, D student at Iolani, maybe B's if I was lucky. And all of the write-ups that I was looking at last night were like, she's really charming, but she can't, she doesn't do her homework and she doesn't turn in things.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
I didn't know this about you. That's exactly the kind of student I was.
Oh my God. Yeah. And it said things like she's not doing the assignments, and her smooth writing can't get her out of that.
Oh my God.
And of course I read that and I'm like, oh my God, I was a smooth writer. But my grades at my elementary school were like, she's amazing, like all like outstanding, outstanding, outstanding. And so what changed? What changed from like nothing changed. I didn't change as a person. It was the environment that I was in, and it was the message that I was being given. And it was also the fact that I was really unhappy. And I was like a square peg trying to fit in. Is that the saying? A square peg trying to fit in a hole? And
like that.
Or a
round
hole.
hole.
Yeah,
square.
square
You know what
peg
I mean?
trying to, you know what I'm saying, right? Like I didn't fit there. I didn't fit there. And yet I kept trying, and that sense of like, oh, she's charming in class, and like, I was trying. I was having fun. I was trying to make the best of it. And that's the thing that I think we're kind of saying right here, right? Is that you can make, it's like how we loved our clients when we were working in the corporate world. We loved jobs that we had, and yet something will feel a little off when you're trying to fit into something that is not truly connected to your soul, right? So when you're not operating from your soul, it's like there will be evidence around you that like maybe you're tired, maybe you're stressed out, maybe you're grouchy, maybe something just doesn't feel right. Maybe you're burning out. Maybe your relationships are suffering. Maybe it's just something is going to be off. Maybe there are shit storms happening in your life, like for Saul, right? But whatever it is, those are the signs that you're out of alignment with what your soul truly desires. And it may look what your soul wants may be unconventional. It may not be what society thinks looks like success, right?
It probably is not.
Right.
That's like, let's go there. I was going to say, like, let's not go there with my whole school thing, but I want to go there right now because
hey, know what? This is our fucking podcast. We can do whatever we want. This is our
podcast. And like, bless my parents for sending me to an amazing, like, we both went to really, really prestigious private schools in Honolulu. And we both, I didn't know this until today, were almost like we almost failed out of school.
Yeah.
I was on academic probation.
Me too.
I never did my homework. I hated doing my homework. I was so social and I loved going to school, but only to talk to my friends. Like it, and I felt like a failure because all of my teachers were like, what is wrong with this girl? And I mean, maybe not all. And I know that there's a teacher who listens to our podcast, and I gotta say, Erin, changed my world. I only did well in your class. It's true.
Gracias, Erin.
Gracias, señora. But like this is, and thankfully I'm hearing even the schools that we went to and the other private schools here are shifting their curriculum to be more experiential, to be more kind of like logic and critical thinking based, which is so beautiful. But this is something that we've all really grown up in. And I will say part of the reason why we quit working with corporate, it was because we were afraid that we were convincing too many people to quit their jobs. And we didn't want to be held liable for that. But it's true. I mean, we've grown up in this place where we go to school to get grades, and the way that you earn a good grade is by following the rules that are set by one or two people. And there is a person, the teacher, who is in charge of assessing you and deciding whether or not you have earned that grade. And to them, there is one way to do it. And to you, there may be a million different ways to experience a class or to learn. And after school, many of us are encouraged to apply to go to college for 4 years to learn about something that maybe we're interested in, or maybe our parents want us to study, or maybe our teachers thought we should study it. And we're conditioned to follow this prescription because that's what quote unquote success looks like in our modern society. And I do think that times are changing and people are starting to wake up a little bit and seeing many ways to live life. But especially I feel like for kind of the older generations who are seeing that, like people who are maybe even in their 50s and 60s who are close to retirement and saying, oh my gosh, I spent my entire life working this job, doing this thing, when really this lights me up instead. And it's not too late. I'm going to do it. Like people who quit their jobs and do what they love, we celebrate you. And we encourage you, if you're on the fence, if you're like, God, I know that this resonates with me so, so deeply. I know I'm unhappy. I know that I need to make a change. I'm just scared. I just don't know how. Hear this message. You are supposed to be listening to this and take action, whatever that is, small or big. Book a call with us. We want to talk to you. It's not a sales call. It can be. You can jump into our course if you want to, but we just want to chat. We want to.
It's a connection. It's a connection, just like we were talking about. You never know. You never know.
with Kimmy here, like I thank God I have this girl because she helps me through some of the things where I'm like, God, I don't know, I'm scared, I don't know how. And we want to be the Kimmy for you,
Or
for the
we want
pool.
to be the Pua for you. Oh my God. I know we've been talking about that a lot lately too, just about how blessed and grateful we are that we've had each other on this journey. And my God, how many times have we pulled each other along when things were tough or coached each other through something. And the beauty of being able to be that now for our badasses in our community is like, it means the world to us. And it's our way of like paying it forward for being blessed with having each other as entrepreneurs in this, on our entrepreneurial journey. So, I'm grateful for you.
Dittos.
Well, we Kyle Cease the shit out of this.
Oh, you guys are sitting there waiting for your headphones.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You can get 15% off of Studio headphones.
Woohoo!
If you enter the code ALOHA, ALOHA at the checkout, and we'll put the link and all the details in our show notes.
What a cool company that they gave us the discount code Aloha too.
I know.
Right? Like, these guys are super fun.
White. It's just that they're that cool.
Totally. Yes. And they're super fashionable, as you will see in the Honolulu Magazine spread soon. So yay, guys. Well, anything else? Any other things we want to share about? Oh, I know. We would love for you guys to continue the conversation in our tribe. Do you guys know about our tribe? If you're not there already, this is like a party that's happening on Facebook that we want you at. So this is our free Facebook group for just badass, amazing people looking to live their best life ever, entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs. If you're looking for a fun place to be with lots of really great energy and really great ideas and inspiration, join us, bit.ly/BLE tribe. It's a great way to just get to know us a little bit better too and know our community. We're doing more and more live videos there. So you can watch us squirm as we get out of our comfort zone and do more and more live video on Facebook. And come join the party. bit.ly/BLE tribe.
Thanks, you guys. We'll talk to you soon.